Hey guys, it's Quinn. In honor of 100 videos and 500 subscribers, cause good timing, today I'm taking a look at the origins of Quincy and why this channel exists in the first place. Now, to really go back into why I made this channel, we have to go back to my childhood, which we'll get to in a second, but I just really want to thank you guys for being with me this entire way. This channel's been going on for I think 2 years now, and the fact that some of you guys have stuck with me since the very first video, and I really appreciate that. So, this is as much a shout out to you and why I'm making this video, to explain to you guys why I create this content for you guys, why I like sharing it with you, and all of the above. So I hope you enjoy, I hope you understand Quincy a little bit more, and I hope this excites you into watching more of my videos. Anyways, let's get on with the show. To explain my story, as I just said, we have to go back to my childhood, and to really explain it, you have to realize that I come from the Midwest. I grew up in Michigan until I was 6, and if you've grown up, especially in cold areas, you know that there really is not that much to do. So me personally, I rocked the N64 and the GameCube. On the GameCube, I played From Russia with Love and, Nightfire, things like that, the best games ever. But for me, the very best game was on the N64, and a little old legend I call GoldenEye 007. And the thing was, I played it all the time. I loved the game, but I never realized that there was a movie. I never realized that the Bond series was, a thing. I always thought it was just a string of video games. And so I think I was around 4, and one of those days, my dad and my brother said, "Quinn, you play these games all the time." I did. From Russia with Love, I rocked it. I was the master of, putting the suitcase down and shooting, Red Grant and stuff. But anyways, one of the days they set me down, they said, "Quinn, you watch these movies you play these games all the time. Why don't you just watch the movie?" And I'm like, "Okay, why not?" So they sat me down, and 2 hours later I came out, and my mind had never been, more blown at any time in my life. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Now, my most immediate reaction was just the complete entertainment value that was in this. And what I really got from this film was that, if you can entertain someone well, tell them a good joke, do a nice, glowing discussion with them, there's nothing better. For me, the reason I liked GoldenEye so much was because the entire time it was balls to the walls, action galore. It was amazing, but also it had a great story to it, which is one of the first points of why Quincy exists, which is what this video is really about. And that's because I love entertaining people. I love writing reviews. I love speaking of it with people. And for me personally, I don't like talking about Bond all the time to, people that I know, because it annoys the shit out of them. So what I do is I create this channel so I can talk with people, every week or two, just release a new topic and discuss it with people, because for me, I think entertaining you guys and giving my view as to what I believe in the Bond series, it's entertaining for both of us. You guys don't know this, but the first video I ever made, a lot of people shit in it because they thought I was just reiterating Calvin Dyson's points, but what it actually was, and one of the actually founding reasons of this channel, was it was a response video to Calvin Dyson's ranking of the Bond films. That's what that first video was. So you'll see, there's a lot of doubt in my voice. I didn't really get my thoughts together, but as I've grown with this channel, I've learn to entertain you guys better, tell a better story, which goes into my second point. I love telling stories more than just about anything on this planet. I think if you have a great action, you have a great ending, it's just absolutely, it's perfect, and that's why I love GoldenEye. It's the first really good story I've ever actually seen, and that's why it was something that I attached to so immediately, because for me it was just such an entertaining and such a overall well-taught, told story that for me, I just connected to it easily. And so if I was able to sort of give that same connection to you guys, sure, some of my older videos are not that good, but I understand that. But my newer videos, I try to make them really entertaining, and so you guys can connect to it. And I also try to make them informative, so we have something to talk about. And that goes into a little bit more of my third point, and why Bond in particular is something that I love. Now, I'm sure when you guys all grew up, you had your favorite films. The ones that I usually find people to love are, Toy Story, Lion King, Monsters, Inc., things like that. I've never actually seen any of those movies. The movie I saw was, besides The Incredibles, which I will review one of these days, it's one of my favorite movies, but besides that, it was Bond. I grew up when I was, as I said, like 4. I saw GoldenEye, and from there I watched, Die Another Day. Then I went through the entire series. I absolutely adore it. Now, the reason I review and rank a lot of the films as I do is because I rank them based on what my image of the Bond series should be. So, for example, GoldenEye will always be like that golden pinnacle, and then from there, I rank the films based on how it matches up with that. So I will be very, very soon re-ranking the films when Spectre comes out. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, spoiler alert, Quantum of Solace will be last. And the reason is because it doesn't match the feel of what a Bond film should be. A film in the Bond series should have at least a hair of camp. It should have, some, witticism. Should have some good action. At the end of the day, he should be a badass. But the problem with a film like Quantum of Solace is it goes just way too hard in the Jason Bourne badass category, and that's why it's not relatable to what the film should be like, at least in my image. Whereas something like the Connery era, the reason a lot of people, including myself, absolutely adore them is because it completely has an image of, a suave, manly man kicking ass, and it's absolutely fantastic. Now, the reason I bring this all up is to go into finally why Quinn C exists. As I've said, I love telling stories, I love entertaining people, and the Bond series has a great nostalgia for me, so the easiest way for me to combine all that was, write reviews, discuss the Bond series. But if you know that one person who talks way too much about the things that they do, it drives people nuts, and so I created a Bond channel to discuss it with Bond fans, kind of like Calvin Dyson. It was originally a response video, and I thought, there's topics that he hasn't discussed that I would love to bring up, and that's why the Bond Quinn C has just developed. Of course, like 60 videos in, I was kind of going insane, so I started reviewing other films as well. But overall, the reason Quinn C exists and the reason I love the Bond franchise is it's interlinked in that, for me, it's just so much fun making these reviews. It's so much fun for me to watch the movies. I have a great time doing all of this, and it all started from when I was a 4-year-old, watching GoldenEye from the first time. The idea of just being entertained that much, having that great of a story, and then the nostalgia that came with me when I grew up. It's all sort of enveloped in the Bond series, and that's why I review these films today, and that's why I discuss the Bond series with you guys, because it's just something that I've always loved, so I want to share that love, that passion with you guys. It's actually funny, at the end of sophomore year, I had to do a passion project, which was you had to make, something based on something you love. You have to discuss why you love it, and when my teacher announced the project, immediately everyone looked at me because they knew I was going to do the Bond series or movies. They didn't know which one exactly, but they knew they were going to do that because it's something I love. It's something I always talk about. It's something that I, enjoy being a part of, and that's why this video has been one that I've always wanted to make for you guys. It's something that's been very special for me, and I feel like I'm at the point now that I can properly communicate to you guys, and I'm, it's an honor to be able to discuss this with you guys. I really have had a pleasure doing these videos for so long, and I hope that you stick with me in the future, especially when Spectre comes out. There's going to be a whole host of videos when those comes out. But anyways, in summary, Quinn C is just something that I love doing. The Bond series is something that I adore, and that's just why I do it for everyone. Now, if you guys have any requests for future videos, please be sure to hit me up at Quinn C. I read every comment, and I don't know if you guys know this, but people on YouTube, the thing they love the most is when people leave comments, because, again, that's why this channel exists, is to talk with Bond fans. So please be sure to leave your comment below and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for the 100 videos. Thank you even more for the 500 subs. And as always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for when Spectre comes out. Ciao.